Hi, I'm Reba Hervis, Artistic Director at Overshadowed Theatrical Productions. Welcome to this week's episode From the Wings with my co-host who is back in the saddle again.
Back. Olivia was on last week.
Yeah.
I missed you.
So thanks for coming back.
It's fun to be back. What are we chatting about?
Today we're going to talk about a book that I did not read, I listened to, called Finding Me, and it's by Viola Davis. She was in the television series How to Get Away with Murder. She played in Doubt, also really well known for being in The Help. My daughter actually listened to this book and was very highly recommended it. And she talked about the fact that you almost have to listen to this one instead of read it because it's in her voice.
Wow. Okay, that changes everything.
Right.
Yes.
So she reads it herself and it's just so raw. You can just hear these emotions in her voice. So I'm going to tell you right away, she has a lot of swearing in it. She was really raised, when I tell you some of the things, she had a horrible upbringing, which is part of the reason I'm so inspired by the story.
Wow.
Because she was not one of these people that was just defeatist and said, I can't, I couldn't, because I had this dealt to me in my life, but instead did not use that as an excuse and instead went out and became a very, very successful person.
Wow.
So let me tell you what she says about the book. She says, in my book, you will meet a little girl named Viola. Finding Me is a deep reflection, a promise, and a love letter of sorts to myself. My hope is that this story will inspire you to light up your own life with creative expression and rediscover who you were before the world put a label on you. I think I also loved it because she's an actress. And so for me, listening to her claw her way to having success was interesting to me, especially because I hear so many people that I know who are actors or directors who might say, why don't I ever get a lead? Or why did I have to audition this many times or whatever? And I hear how hard she worked before she got noticed. And I'm like, some people are just not cut out to have that kind of life, to go in before an audition and be told no time after time after time. Yeah. There's a point in the story that she talks about when she got offered to be the lead in How to Get Away with Murder, that her character takes her wig off. And she talks about how she had to tell the directors that this is a very important moment for her because Black women do not have the same kind of hair as white blonde women. And she was like, if I'm going to be an authentic actor and be true, then I have to have a raw moment where I strip away the makeup, the hair, and I say, this is who this person is. And because she consistently took risks like that, I think that has made her the award-winning actress that she really is. But her story is so much more fascinating. She starts with the fact that her family was so poor that in the middle of the night, she and her sisters would sleep in the same bed because they didn't have a lot of bedrooms, and they had, I think she has 4 sisters, and they would not get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom because the rats were so big in her apartment that they would bite them at nighttime, so they would just wet the bed. They wouldn't get up and go anywhere because they were afraid of the rats. And so she would tell the story of how they didn't realize that it was any different than the rest of the world.
Stop.
And so they would go to school, and of course everybody would be like,
you wet the bed at how old?
She says she wet the bed until she was in college.
Oh my gosh.
I love the thing that she talks about opening your eyes to who you are and not letting the world put a label on you, because I think sometimes we look at situations and we judge people and say, well, you oughta. Why don't you fix this? Why aren't you a different person? And really, maybe they don't have any opportunity or they don't know any better because they just, life is been different, right? So when I say this woman clawed her way from nothing to become who she is and to become as put together she is, I just think the story is so stinking inspiring, because I think that a lot of us quit for a lot less.
Yeah, wow.
I just really think if there's any way you can get past the swears, you got to read the book. And she talks about how somebody wrote her a letter that allowed her to get a scholarship, an appointment, an audition for Juilliard.
Wow.
And she really had no idea what that was going to be like. But what she had to do to even get there, it was like a 4-hour bus ride, and she had to walk the last hour, and just all the little steps she had to take to get it because she only had X number of dollars. So she talks about the fact that when she gets there, she does her audition, and then she says, okay, I have to leave in 45 minutes, so if you need anything else out of me, then let me know, and
direct.
Let's do it, but I have to go in 45 minutes. Well, later she finds out that usually auditions at Juilliard take 3 days. And you audition a lot for one panel one day, and then they get different faculty the next day, and then they get different faculty the next day. So the fact that she had the audacity to
say,
come
hey,
by the way, I got 45 minutes today, and I can't come back. But you know what they did? They went and gathered all the faculty, and she had another audition, and then she ended up getting in.
Oh my word.
On scholarship.
She was able to get the roles that she has gotten through so much. And I totally agree with you that people nowadays, we just assume that the people who get the roles, it's not the talent, it's the right time and place. But like, it sounds like she worked.
She worked hard and was talented enough with a raw talent that she was able to see how her character could be different instead of what everybody was expecting.
Wow.
Which is the ultimate brilliance as an actress, I think. So she uses this quote in the book, and I'm like, oh, such a great way to look at life. If I created a fable of my life, a fantasy, I see myself finally meeting God, gushing, crying, thanking the Almighty for the accolades. A fabulous husband, a beautiful daughter, my journey from nothing to Hollywood awards, travel. I can clearly see the Lord's face staring at me, taking me in and saying, you never thanked me for creating you as you.
Wait, that is so beautiful.
Isn't that great?
Oh my goodness.
Thinking of the Bible verse, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. I think there's a lot of times we don't, here is this woman who is afraid of rats in the middle of the night, and so pees her bed until she's in college. And she says, I see God's face saying, wait, why don't you thank me for making you who you are? Do you think you'll read it, or probably not because of the language? So
I'll try. I
gotta warn, the language is
I'll try to audiobook it.
Yeah,
I will.
Then you can fast forward.
Yeah, I'm a little sensitive to swearing, so.
Yes, yeah.
I think you know your
which is good.
You know what I mean?
Yes, which is good. I would, 100%.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad for From the Wings that I can now be excited for this book, gotten some cliff notes from it.
And maybe reading it is better. I don't know. Like, some people hearing it.
It's different.
Yeah. Really, really inspirational to me.
I'm inspired.
Yeah.
Truly.
Yeah.
Well, until next time, this is just me.
And me.
Talking to you from the wings. I love it. I'm very into audiobooks right now.
Are you?
I am. Now, can it count as I read it? Like, that's a big debate. Okay.
As long as you are taking in the information from a book, it counts as reading.
I totally agree, because I got into audiobooks this year, because I got into reading this year, but it's just hard to find time to just actually sit.
I know, I agree.
I'm always driving, right? And so I started, I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to listen to audiobooks, and it's been amazing. So like before we went to New York and saw The Outsiders, I got to listen to
And
The Outsiders.
if you guys will remember from our other video, our other YouTube, she also read Great Gatsby.
And Great Gatsby I actually read, which I'm very, because I feel like there's a little extra. It's like baking a cake from scratch or baking it from a box. You're going to get a cake either way.
Yeah.
Like a chocolate cake.
Yeah.
But the audiobook maybe is a little more, we're going to do the work for you and doing it yourself from
that's
scratch.
really interesting.
You're doing a little more.
Yeah.